Welcome to Pod Apostle. Help us build the kingdom of God. Like, subscribe, and share. The longer I'm a priest, the more I like this genealogy, okay? And I like the genealogy because it seems like, ever so slowly I'm becoming more and more familiar with many of the characters in the genealogy, and they comes to my mind as I'm reading it, who they are and where they came from and those things. And I've said this before, and everybody, there seems to be a little chuckle, and maybe you'll remember me saying this and you'll roll your eyes and you won't chuckle this time. But Father Patty was saying, somebody said to him, I'm not going to church with all those hypocrites. And Patty said, oh, there's always room for one more hypocrite, So, and when we read the genealogy of Jesus, as I'm reading through this list, Solomon, didn't do so well. He was a tremendous disappointment ultimately, and even a failure, we would say. And King David's sins are really something to make you blush. And then Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, he was such a bad king that the nation split under his rule. And and as I'm reading through the list of kings here, we have Ahaz, who was again, he shows up prominently in the prophet Isaiah, and Ahaz, lied to Isaiah, lied to himself, and was a disaster of a king. And on it goes. So what's the point? Jesus was born into a family of sinners. And you and I are in that family. We are not what makes the church great. Jesus makes the church great. And so when we think about, being surrounded by sinners or disappointments, that's the family of God, frankly. It really is that Jesus came to lift us up. And so if we are lifted up and we have a little better view of things, and let's hope that we do, let's hope that God is cleansing us of the worst of our weaknesses. Well, thanks be to God for his mercy. Thanks be to God for his mercy. And so as I read through this list, there are a few stars. Hezekiah was a great king, and David was a man after God's own heart, in spite of the fact that he was a sinner as well. And then there's obviously, we come down to St. Joseph and Mary and the gift of grace that was given to them as well. This beautiful list and challenging list, begins with Jacob, the father of Judah, and his brothers. And Judah was not the first son of Jacob, but Judah was chosen to be the tribe of kings. And that's what the book of Genesis was about. Jacob called his sons and said, listen, sons of Jacob, listen to Israel, your father, you, Judah, your brothers, praise. Your hand on the neck of enemies. And then it goes on to say that the scepter will not depart from Judah, nor the mace from between his legs. The scepter, that's what the king holds, right? The scepter of power, and the mace, that's the military might. And so Judah was going to be the king, and the other brothers would have to serve him. How do you think all the other brothers felt about that, So again, another part of the challenge of the human family, the jealousy and all of the other things. So that genealogy is rich and beautiful, and yes, our family tree has a few sinners in it. Lord, have mercy on me, a sinner.